TWD Gaming. This is Random Stuff and Things, and we're doing it all over again. We did this. This used to be a staple for our channel. We used to do these things every week on Freestyle Friday, and we're bringing them back. And bigger, better than ever. Some new ideas, some new thoughts. If you guys are new to Random Stuff and Things, a couple things happen in these. One, I do have some data, some ideas, some things to talk about. You can always super chat, minimum low amounts, $1, $2 super chats. Don't go crazy with super chats because it's sort of a, you can control the chat a little bit. So if there's something you want to get my attention, I will try to call on people. But obviously, if a big square that has colors and dollar figures light up, then I'm going to see that before I see a whole lot of other things streaming. But I do have some topics and some things we're going to talk about. First of all, let me say happy Labor Day to everybody. Hopefully you guys had a really good last couple days. Today feels like Sunday. Doesn't feel like a Monday. Usually holidays feel like holidays, but they feel like the day of the week. But for some reason, and I think it's just because of the box event and then yesterday and then all of it, I don't know. It's a weird calendar type of thing for me. So you guys having a good day? Yeah, been to see mom. Great weekend. And you guys do anything super exciting? Who has done the most exciting thing today? Let's talk about and let's judge it. Let's talk about exciting things that maybe you've done. Been cleaning all day and cooking. That's about as boring as hell, Dal. It's like I said exciting. I said exciting. I didn't say okay, there you go. Listening to old 80s, 90s what have you been listening to specifically? What type of songs? What groups? Dimes has grilled some ribs, not very excited. But yeah, that's pretty good. Craven did make an wait a minute. If you're calling that off, if you're calling that awesome, did I get taken advantage of? Craven's like, yeah, I got him. Got him to take Devontae Adams with Jimmy Garoppolo. Poison and Outcast. You mean like every rose has its thorn? That one? Just like every night has its dawn. Just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Right. I love me some Poison. I do. The group Poison, not to be confused with the songs Poison. Alice Cooper, Belle Biv DeVoe. Look what the cat dragged. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yep, cleaning out some stuff. I get it. Talking to Sud. So a good mix of things. Okay. Well, I hate to break it to all of y'all, but I'm gonna shift topics because, well, give me a place without. I don't want to bash people in the stream. I don't want to bash companies in the stream. But give me a place that you like to go that is great service, great customer service. See what I'm doing here? I'm not going to give you guys the opposite because I want to hear about some good service because I'm going to tell you guys about some bad service. Not gonna mention the names, but I had a pretty eventful Sunday. More eventful. I wonder why that is, Craven. Buffalo Wild. I can't specifically speak about the service levels of Buffalo Wild Wings because I've usually ordered out. I will tell you the food is phenomenal. I do love the food. Um, but from a customer service standpoint, I don't know. I I don't have anything bad to say about them, so I assume it's pretty good. If the service matches the food, it is. But I would guess that it's like most things. It's probably state by state, food group by food group. So, Craven, I'm assuming that Buffalo Wild Wings is not. It's not corporate owned, and it's probably restaurant groups. Like there's probably a corporation, and then smaller groups that buy the rights to multiple locations. Is that kind of how it works? I might be wrong, but I've dealt with some restaurant groups that do that. That'll own like a group of McDonald's, a group of 30. Okay, there you go. 30% corporate, 70% franchised out. Yeah, that's a good mix. Yeah. So, and it's nice because corporate has that, got the thumb over them, making sure that they're upholding those service levels and they're not going rogue and just doing their own things. All right, so most quilt shops, huh? JJ, give me something I'm a little bit more familiar with. I I am not frequent. You know I'll take your word for it, but give me something that I can relate to just a little bit more. Um, yeah, no, I mean, no, for you. Besides a quilt shop, something I can kind of relate to a little bit more. Like a Chick-fil-A or something like that. Kel's like, don't you bash JJ. She goes to quilt shop. She's good at sewing. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Kel, Mama Bear. Kel, this was an A and B conversation between me and JJ, and she's all getting in JJ. You hold on just 1 minute. I'm not talking bad about quilt shops. I'm I'm merely asking for something that I would also be able to chime in about. Yeah, I'm sure JJ is a boss at sewing. I don't I don't doubt that. If her sewing is as good as her dancing, boom. You know what? That is going to be on my bucket list. You all right? JJ's like someday I want to see kills in a quilt. My bucket list is going to be I'm going to go in a. You know what? Actually, I have been in one, and it was not too long ago, and they couldn't help me. It's another story. Okay, so and it was a place that sells. It was a quilt shop, and they sell sewing machines, and they do sewing classes. Here here's the problem. So I have some sentimental items. So Morris, I have a hairband, and it was one of Morris's favorite things to play with, and I wear it. It's always around my wrist. And it's one of those black elastic hairbands. You put your hair, you tie your hair. But I used to shoot them to him, and he loved them. So I wear this thing. I never take it off. And it was starting to the 5 years things start to break. So I went into a quilt shop and I said, is there a way to reinforce this other than putting like glue on it? Can you sew around it? And they couldn't really come up with anything. So I have been in a quilt shop. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about, see, don't underestimate the places that I frequent, because I'm out there. I am out there. Look at you know, usually, yeah, usually after a couple drinks in a casino, I swing by the quilt shop on the way home. All right, yeah, okay. Let me talk about something different. So, bad service. My pool service is bad, and would you agree that if you pay for a service, and I got to be careful what I do here, because I don't want to sound um, like I'm snobby, or you guys know I'm not. In most cases, like, I like to do things, like I like to cut my grass, but sometimes seasonality, you're busy. I am working a lot. I mean, you guys know what I do for the channel, and then you have other things going on. So if I'm working 80, 85 hours a week on a good week, I don't always have time to do some of the little things. It could be housekeeping, it could be cutting grass, it could be managing my pool. Um, but I like doing it, right? I just don't have the time, especially cutting grass. Now, I did cut grass Sunday. I love it. But see, there's like a 1-2 thing. So I have a weekly, well, it's seasonality, but I have a weekly pool thing where they come out, they put the chemicals in, they balance it, they do the things, take any leaves out of the pool. And it's really, really cool because, especially when I cut the grass, guess what I like to do? I like to go in the pool. So Saturday, they were doing their Saturday service on the pool. Well, about 30 minutes after they left, my pool looked like it was nothing but cream in a cup of coffee. It was cloudy. I mean, what is going on? I could not even see the bottom of the pool. So clearly, they didn't do something right. Now, this stemmed from a little debate. So, not everybody knew this. My pool filter went out this year. So, it's cartridge filter. Maybe you guys know about this. Anyway, I'm gonna get you up to speed on what happens with pools. So there are cartridge filters and there are sand filters. Sand filters are a little less expensive, but the cartridge filters get down to the micro milli whatever. Sand filters in this area are really, really popular and really, really good. And they're about $1,500 cheaper. So the company that had been servicing my pool gave me an estimate on a cartridge filter. And I thought it was a little high. And in this area, sometimes they just think that you're just going to pay anything. But no, I got Google. And with Google, many of you guys, raise your hand if you know who Google is in chat real quick. And a big thank you to Google, because they own YouTube. And if it weren't for Google and YouTube, I would not be here. So raise your hand if you know who Google is. Google is actually the person that is exactly exactly usually wins our trivia. But I have Google, so I can go in and I can look up what it costs for filters. So this happened a couple of months ago. So I get some prices and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Let me ask you guys this question. Have you ever bought something and thought the markup on what you bought was too high? Now, everybody could expect to pay a markup when you buy a car, when you buy some buffalo wing chicken, when you buy quilts. There are markups on these supplies. You got to pay them, right? But what is a fair markup? Let me ask you guys this question, because companies can't give you things for free. You have to charge money. But what is fair? What is reasonable? And just type something in chat. And I know some people will say, well, it depends on the item. Maybe it depends. But why does it depend a whole lot? Why is there not more of a standardization of what is a good markup? What is fair? 20%? 15%? Now, and again, I got to be careful because some of you guys are in service businesses. Some of you guys are I'm in a service business right now. I'm in a service business, right? We create content. So I'm not going to bash service industries or food industries or quilt industries. So it does depend. 15%, some say 10, some pay, it varies. Well, let me give you an idea, okay? They were marking up the equipment 30 to 40%. So I found the equipment and I said, let me buy the equipment and will you charge me a fee to install it, right? They're making money off the installation. So I said, I will buy it because I was going to save money and I was going to go with this particular brand that they recommended. And they would continue to keep the service. So the guy says, well, if you buy it through me, the warranty is 1 year. If you buy it through them, the warranty is 30 days. And I said, no, that's not correct. I've already talked to them. So number one, he lied. Okay? That's not a good thing. When you have a contract, you're servicing someone's yard, their house, their pool, their car, and they lie. So we're not off to a good start here. So then, when I called him in the lie, he says, well, we've been burned before. So we're okay. Just go ahead and do it. So I'm like, fine. So I get an estimate for a sand filter with another company because they said, well, we think this would be better. And the guy was very trustworthy. So I get it installed. There's a moral to the story. So that was a month ago. I've had no issues out of the filter. It is amazing. The water is crystal clear. It's beautiful. Easy to use. All of those things. But we're getting close to the end of pool season. So, Saturday, when my pool became extremely cloudy, and I'm still using the company that I did not give the filter to, guess what he blamed the cloudy pool on? The filter, because I did not buy it through him. Oh, well, I told you to get this filter. I told you to get this. I told you to do that. So I test the water and said, send me over your chemical reading. And he supposedly put alkaline, sodium bicarbonate, these things. So I take the water, get it tested. And the guy tested and said, there's no sodium bicarbonate in your pool. And he basically chlorine blasted it. So basically, he came out and just put a whole bunch of shock in the pool. And that made it cloudy. So I'm like, well, I got to swim. And the guy says, well, here, take this $10 jar of chlorine neutralizer. So I put $10 worth of chlorine neutralizer in it, took the water back, had it tested, because the chlorine level was 22. It's supposed to be 1 to 4. It was 22. It was 8 times higher than the acceptable level. So I brought the chlorine down, cleared the pools, beautiful, cut the grass, fired the pool company, and now this guy lost my business forever. Because he lied, and because they didn't do what the contract stated that they were going to do. So again, that is terrible, terrible service. So I ask you guys for positive service, but I really ask because I wanted to transition it just to tell you guys that sometimes you get bad service. But here's the thing, and I always believe in this. Some of the best companies and some of the best services that I've ever met or stumbled upon is because I was forced into it through bad service. So the moral of the story is, don't get discouraged. Just do your homework. And there's companies out there that will go out of their way to take care of you. All right, so there's a story with random things. Now, I am going to do something that I think is really, really cool. I saw this article. And it is a best restaurant list for each state. Now, there's a lot of lists that do this. I got to find it. Because they did it by Google searches. Now, I ain't buying this. Okay, hang on. This is an old list. This is an old list. It's got like Domino's and McDonald's, Domino's and McDonald's, Domino's and McDonald's, which is not true. All right, here we go. I think this is one of them. All right, well, you know what? This is pretty good. Give me a state. Give me a state. I'll give you. This is a different list. That's why I said all these things are different. That's why we do random stuff and things. This one is the best road trip food stop in every single state. Wow. So we'll see. Missouri. And let me know if you've heard of these. Of course somebody would make me go all the way down to the M's, Sheila. Hold on, Sheila. Got me scrolling. All right, you know what? How about I get to them when I get to them? I'm going to be scrolling back and forth. I'm just going to scroll down alphabetically. None of y'all live in Alaska. All right, Alabama. Mary's Southern Cooking in Mobile, Alabama. Crimson Tide, you know anything about that? Mary's Southern Cooking? Arizona, Relic Road Brewing. Arkansas. The Root Cafe in Little Rock. California, Yaks on the 5. Connecticut, the Traveler Restaurant. Delaware, Jessup's Tavern. Florida, Tom's Cuban on the Go in Ocala. I guess it's Ocala. Is it Ocala? Kel, you know about Tom's Cuban on the Go? If not, take notes. Apparently these places are pretty good. Georgia, Espresso 41. Maybe they're not going to give me the whole list. All right, and then they gave me like 1,000 ads. Anyway, if you're in one of those states, go to it because I just got spammed with ads. Now, the article that I saw, though, in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A was the #1 searched out. In Kentucky, it was Kentucky Fried Chicken. But it was based on Google searches. All right, so I was looking for to see if there's any new cliches that are out there. This is something we've talked about a few times. You know, a cliche is what? It's a phrase, but the actual definition of cliche is a phrase or opinion that is overused and betrays a lack of original thought. Did you guys know that like that's the exact definition? That brings new meaning to cliche, right? Because some people like to use cliches. But when you look at it like that and you say, well, it's a what if somebody was at a meeting and they used a cliche and you said, "Oh, well that's a phrase that betrays a very lack of original thought." And yeah, that they might not use it as much. You know, it's like, okay. So, I'm going to look up yeah, I mean, give me some of your worst cliches cuz I want to see if they make the list. Hmm. New cliches for the 21st century. What's a book? Darkest before the yeah, that one irks me a little bit. Oh, this is this shows you what to replace them with. I think this is kind of cool. Okay, this is funny. This is funny. Okay, so it gives a cliche, and then it gives a replacement of something else you can use. Let's try that. Let's play a cliche game. All right, I'll give you one, and then you give me one, and we'll try to see if we can come up with a better cliche for it. All right, so here's an example of the game we're going to play. Move the needle. Unless your nonprofit is drug prevention, then you're not moving needles. Replace it with peel the butternut. Butternut squash is notoriously difficult to peel. We barely peeled the butternut. Okay, I get it. Elephant in the room. You guys have all heard elephant in the room, right? Refers to a huge issue no one wants to talk about. Replace it with, can we acknowledge the mites on our eyelashes? That's pretty good. All right. So next time someone says elephant in the room, say mites on your eyelashes. I like that. How about this one? Anyone ever said I got too many things on my plate right now? Right? Who's used that? All right, so it says replace that with, I have a lot of gluten in my diet. I'm gonna start using these things. I'm just gonna randomly walk up to people and say, I have a lot of gluten in my diet. These are great. These are great. All right, how about this one? Have you ever asked someone with, um, can I pick your brain? Right? Let me know if you've used that. Like, hey, I was going to do this, but can I pick your brain for a second? All right, so it says replace it with, can I siphon your hard earned knowledge for free? Oh, my Lord. This is great. All right, I like that. Okay, now, yes. All right, I'm going to die with this one. The one I hate more than anything. And if you use it, I don't hate you, but just don't use it. It is what it is. Oh my God. If there's one phrase, it is what it is. All right. But they are giving us a way to replace it, and it's a really good one. So the next time someone says it is what it is, you can say, you're damn right, a rhino ain't a wombat. oh, oh man. I'm definitely gonna change my vocabulary. A rhino ain't a wombat. Oh man, I'm not saying that word because it's one letter short of a word that might get me in trouble. A disruption. Instead of disrupt, I can't handle any more disruption. Replace it with the word masticate. Not as funny, but definitely effective. Replace empower with transmogrify. All right, this one. Here you go. All right. Has anyone ever been in a meeting where someone says we got to get the low-hanging fruit? I know you guys have heard this. All right, next time somebody says it, tell them we are going to replace the top layer of hummus. That's great. Oh, man. How about ducks in a row? I don't see that one. I like that, though. Got time to lean, you got time to clean. Maybe we can make up some to help them out. I mean, Daryl, I could probably use that for my pool people, right? If you got time to lean, you got time to clean. How about if you ain't standing straight, why don't you add some sodium bicarbonate? There you go. Boom, master. See, I tied it all together. Daryl, thank you for that alley oop. Daryl with the alley, kills with the dunk. Boom. We just did it. We just created our first new cliche. and last, think outside the box. Right? You've heard people say, we got to think outside the box. And the recommendation is to replace it with, Busy's going to die when she hears this one, I already know. Instead of saying, let's think outside the box, say, let's think like a pterodactyl. And if they say, that makes no sense, then you say, well, it's because you're not thinking like a pterodactyl. All right. I mean, yeah. Oh, my goodness. That is so cliche. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right, so now that we got you kind of primed for humor, we brought back Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy. We did this in the last one. And it was so funny, I thought we'd do it again. And this is where I will basically just not proofread. I will read it live. It may be funny. It may flop. I don't know. And I might even read one I've read before because I'm just randomly picking them. All right. I think someone should come up with a way to breed a very large shrimp. That way you could ride him. Then after you've camped at night, you could eat him. It's a great idea. It's a great idea. All right. Let's that one jumped out. I know the Prince of Weasels. One thing that makes me believe in UFOs, sometimes I lose stuff. That didn't make me laugh as much, but it makes me think. I think they should continue the policy of not giving a Nobel Prize for paneling. Well, it was too long to read. That's like a paragraph. Wow, I think I got to the page where it's a lot of paragraphs. To me, clowns aren't funny. In fact, they're kind of scary. I've wondered where this started, and I think it goes back to the time I went to the circus and a clown killed my dad. Oh, I think I saw that on Saturday Night Live, and it's oh man. Ambition is like a frog sitting on a Venus flytrap. The flytrap can bite and bite, but it won't bother the frog because it's only little tiny plant teeth. But some other stuff could happen, and it could be like ambition. What? I bet one legend that keeps recurring throughout history in every culture is the story of Popeye. All right, and last, before we go to a new topic, it's too bad you can't buy a voodoo globe so that you could just make the earth spin real fast and freak everybody out. All right, those are deep thoughts. Very deep thoughts. All right, we got another category here. This category is Ask Me Stuff. So, I'm putting you all on the spot. Type in chat any questions that you may have. I'm a fairly decent prediction person. This is not the kills crystal ball. Like, I don't have to be right with this. I can just answer. Yeah. I mean, I might not answer, but we'll see. I mean, I might know. I might know some things that I don't even know that I know. > 25,000 gallons. That I do know. Um, Extremely successful. I don't think Daryl Dixon will rival The Walking Dead because people don't watch as much television as they did in its heyday, where it got 10 to 11 million viewers. But I think it's going to be a 3 or 4. I think it's going to be very successful. I think the Chiefs will do very well, but I think that they'll lose to the Bengals in the playoffs this year. I'm a little concerned with Chris Jones. And I think you get to a point, as great as Mahomes is, that seems like every year he is breaking in new wide receivers. And I get it. You don't want to pay a wide receiver 22, 23 million, and you want to keep the payroll down so you can get other positions. But that doesn't always work. So I'm a little concerned this year. Now, would I be shocked if the Chiefs won? No. But I do think this is the year the Bengals are going to get a playoff victory against the Chiefs. Come on, you guys got to have more questions than that. Come on, where are the questions? Thoughts on how much the world has been taken over by Taylor Swift. Yeah, I think that's a good thing because she gave $100 million. Now, granted, this Eras tour, she's going to make um, upper hundreds of millions, $600-700 million. But what she's done and given back, and the type of shows, I'm personally not a fan. But I think it's good. I think it's good for music. It's good for the industry. I don't know that I have groups that I don't know, maybe. Like, I couldn't call myself a Swiftie, you know? Like, I would say, I, I'm just not personally into the cuteness of it. Like, I could say, hey, I like her music, I like a song, but I don't think I could label myself a Swiftie. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't know what I mean because you've labeled yourself one. You're like, no, I don't know what you mean. Because that's what I am. That's who I am. It defines my existence. Yeah, I mean, I can, like, let's kind of think about this for a second, right? Okay, a Trekkie. But if you put names on everything like that, right? If you loved Prince, would you call yourself a revolutionist? No, you probably wouldn't. If you loved the Pussycat Dolls, would you call? Okay, that's a bad example. All right, let's not use that one. But I can like the music and the performers without kind of getting knee deep into it, right? Like, I wasn't a Deadhead, and Grateful Dead was before my time anyway. But I wasn't a Deadhead, so I'm trying to think if there's. I like the Eagles, but we didn't have names. Like, I wasn't like an egg. If I go to see Eagles concerts, what does that make me? A bird? Are you, are you in the flock? Hey, there's a flocky. Loves the Eagles. A bird watcher. Are you a bird watcher? A fledgling. There you go. Thank you. Sea kayak. Sea kayak's got the words for me. Could you imagine? It's like, oh man, I love Joey Walsh. Are you a fledgling? Yeah, I am too. Oh, cool, man. We're both fledglings. And if you like John Cougar Mellencamp, does that make you a cougar? what what other artist could we set up pet names for groups? I'm trying to. I mean, what would you be, an alley rat? Hey, we're the alley rats. We love the Backstreet Boys. Yeah, I mean, parrot heads, right? So what if you were a Billy Idol fan? Would you be an idol of your idol? Loafers. No, they would be loafers. Are you a loafer? If you like meatloaf, you got to be a loafer. There's got to be some good ones out there. I'm not talking about the ones that are established because, yeah, I mean, there are. I thought there was a name for Pink Floyd fans. Maybe not. If you're a Rolling Stones fan, would you be a stoner? Cranberries. That's a tough one. My father, he loved me. I love the Cranberries. She was amazing. A juicer? Michael Jackson. A jackalope. You'd be jackalopes. or jackasses. Hey, they're the jackasses. A jackalope would be better. The gloves. You know, we'll revisit this. I like this topic. And it's not as controversial as pickle juice. The moonwalk. Ooh, I like that. That's not bad. The moonwalkers. We're the moonwalkers. Um, I don't know because Daryl, most of them I'm gonna catch on Amazon Prime. So, any of y'all see The Mother on Netflix? J Lo. Anybody watch that? I liked it. I thought it was very good. I don't, I don't get it, the time to watch a lot of movies, but I did watch that last night. How about All the Old Knives? Did you guys see that yet with Chris Pine and Thandie Newton? I watched both of them actually, back to back. I was chilling. All the Old Knives I thought was very good. Nice plot twist. So if you have not seen that, I recommend checking that out too. All the Old Knives. Dimes, you gotta. She's like, if Chris Pine's in it, I'll watch it. Yeah, you got a little booty scene in there, Dimes. You get to see the pine and maybe a little bit of the trees as well. I was gonna say underbrush, but I'll stick I'll stick with the tree. Yeah. Anyway, we're live. Tammy, go watch it. Gonna light some candles, pour herself a nice glass of wine, and fire up some Chris Pine. Best all-time favorite breakfast cereals. Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch is the best. And peanut butter. Peanut butter crunch. Oh my goodness. That stuff made me like milk. I don't like milk, but peanut butter Captain Crunch made me like milk. Count Chocula. I mean, I like, not a huge fan of chocolate kayak or chocolate milk, but I do like me some Raisin Bran too. 2 scoops. That is really good. Craven, not only is that Sunkist Zero good, but I would bet if you put that in like some ice trays or something and made like some little sugar-free popsicles out of that, oh my God. I mean, that's like a creamsicle. Sugar-free creamsicle. I like grape nuts too. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is good. Wasn't grape nut cereal like? Wasn't there some guy named like Wilford Brimley or something like that that had his own TV show? Didn't he do the grape nuts commercial? I'm not sure if that's his name. I just remember this dude used to pour grape nuts in his hand. So what do you guys think about this Burger King lawsuit where the Whoppers don't look like the Whoppers in the picture? Well, it got me thinking, right? So Daryl, I could probably sue Buffalo Wild Wings because Well, my wings don't look anything like a buffalo. So I think we got a case. They look like chicken. That was a buffalo joke. Give me a home where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope play. And nary is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. I feel like I heard that on Bugs Bunny. It's amazing how much of your life you learn through cartoons. So, which cartoon would you guys say most influenced your life? Bugs Bunny? Bugs, yeah. The Super Friends? Mr. Peabody? Right? Classical music from Bugs Bunny. Welcome to my shop. Let me shave your mop. Da 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 da. Remember the barber? Barber of Seville? Killed a wabbit, killed a wabbit. What would you want with a wabbit? And he was massaging his head with his toes. You remember that? He was like had his fingers and his toes up there giving Elmer a head massage. That was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Popeye got me to eat some spinach. The whole reason why I ate lettuce and I ate spinach was because of Popeye. I still remember the time the Green Lantern almost killed Superman in Justice League and Batman had to come save him. So, and this was a great strategy. So, Green Lantern had went evil, and I think Lex Luthor had gotten some mind control device on him. So he had a piece of kryptonite, and he put a green bubble around him and Superman. And Superman was dying. There's nothing he could do. It's like it's over. And Batman had to come save him. Now, I know none of y'all mentioned The Simpsons. None of y'all mentioned um Superman wins 10 out of 10 times. Batman is much cooler in my mind. I like Batman better because Batman's just cool. But Batman used to get his ass beat by a lot of people that were a lot weaker than Superman. I mean, the Penguin got the best of Batman on more than one occasion. There's some good answers. No, I did not know Fred and Barney were smoking, but I think one of my favorite cartoons ever was, and I know Kayak will get this one. You remember the two little kid cowboys? They were watching TV and they look over and he's like, "Why does the coyote want to eat the roadrunner anyway?" And then Coyote stops and he goes, "That is a very excellent question." And he pulls down his chart and he points to like every part of his body, like the licorice, and so basically like every part of the roadrunner's body had some flavor to it. And I just remember his two kids, they had the big 10-gallon hats on. I'm going to get that chart. I'm going to get that chart and I'm going to put it up on the screen one day. Learn gravity. Yeah. Forget Isaac Newton. So, you know, the funny thing about random stuff and things is we never get through like all the topics. There's usually one or two topics that sort of you get on it and it's just fun to talk about it. But I like this one because this one, you know, when you ask stuff, it's just easy to stop. At Schoolhouse Rock, Chopper chomping on a celery stick. I remember that one. That was like he was like John Travolta from Grease. What are you doing, Chopper? I'm chomping on a celery stick. I'm just a bill sitting on Capitol Hill, and one day I'll become a law. Yeah, I remember that. All right, we got time for 3 more questions. Make them good. 3 more questions. And then we will sign out for tonight so you guys can go watch a little bit of football. Very low scoring game in Durham. I really, really like the Orioles. I'm going to say Orioles, Dodgers play in the World Series. Orioles and Dodgers in the World Series. I'm probably going to go with the Dodgers, unfortunately, though. Dodgers look really good lately. But wait a minute. No, you know what? Let's go with the Braves. Braves beat the Dodgers, Braves and the Orioles in the World Series. And then the Braves. Orioles got a lot of talent, super young. They're going to be a great team for many, many years. But the inexperience might get them this year. But they're incredible. Top to bottom, they got a very good lineup. How does Missouri get two baseball teams anyway? Like, Sheila, you guys can't even get one of them to win. Why do you need two? Like, why did they take the Oakland A's from Oakland? Why didn't they take Kansas City Royals and put them in Las Vegas? That should have been the relocation. I mean, they haven't won anything since like Brett Saberhagen and George Brett and all those guys. That's been a while. All right, give me one more question, and then we will wind it down. We got trivia tomorrow night. Show up for trivia. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then Wednesday night, we get back to Faction Wars on Wednesday night. Trivia on Thursday. Deadly Dimes, all-time favorite actor, actress. Hers are Jack Nicholson and Sally Field. So a couple more questions. Definitely Tom Cruise. I won't say Tom Cruise is the best actor of all time, but I'll say that there's a lot of movies he did that were very meaningful to me. And I love me some Elizabeth Shue in Cocktail, for sure. And all-time favorite video game console, it's not a PC. Oh man, where do I begin with that? God. Atari, television. Coleco. Got to be a toss-up between PS1 and NES. I don't know. That's a tough one. I would probably have to go with PlayStation. Just because I love the college football game. If you guys had original PlayStation, you guys remember NCAA football where you could hit somebody and it would be like a lightning bolt and they go and then the guy'd get carried off the field. I loved PlayStation had some of my best games. Resident Evil, Kingsfield, Suikoden, Vandal Hearts. Yeah, PlayStation would take it for me. Civilization. But I ain't gonna lie. NES, Tecmo Bowl. I mean, yeah. there's some good stuff though. Yeah, PlayStation slightly would win. All right. I'm going to wind it down, everybody. We got about an hour and a half in the books with random stuff and things. A lot of fun to do these streams. They're very casual. You never know which direction the conversation is going to go. Hopefully, you guys had a really, really good holiday weekend. Those of you going back to work tomorrow, be safe. And we will do trivia tomorrow night. And then Wednesday night, again, we've got Faction Wars, Box and Mirror. Thursday night trivia. Friday night, we got our Wizards of the Wild West, part number 15. And Saturday night, we're going to do Battle Tag. First time we've done Battle Royale tag team. So it's going to be a busy, busy week for all of us. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all of you guys. And we got Daryl Dixon coming up on Sunday. So next 7 days, we'll be streaming every day of the week. So you guys have a good night. Talk to you all soon. Peace.